$70 game, $10 to $30 every 60 to 70 days for a battle pass, $15 to $30 for skins and weapon blueprints for bundles, and now $10 event passes. If you were to spend $20 on one bundle and buy the Black Cell battle pass, and then maybe 2 event passes a year, you're spending $390 on Call of Duty. And like, what do you get? What do you get in return? You get a broken, unstable, unfinished game. Call of Duty has a lot of issues, big, glaring issues, but one in particular rises to the top. Call of Duty is soulless. Now, what do I mean by that? Call of Duty is one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world. I'm releasing Call of Duty every single year since 2003. Older than my ass. And I tend to think I have a soul. I think. Well, I'm not ginger at least, so that's a start. I was unfortunately not able to play the older Call of Duties as they were released due to the fact that I was young. I wasn't allowed to have an Xbox or a PlayStation. But hey, I got to play Lego Batman 1 and 2 in Wii Sports Resort. My first taste of Call of Duty was Black Ops 3, being released in 2015, made part of the life cycle 2016. I had a lot of fun playing that game. But even when I wasn't able to play the Call of Duties, I was able to watch them. I was able to watch the Vanoss crew play multiplayer and mess around, finding game-breaking bugs, but they weren't all that game-breaking. They would just make your character look weird. Some mechanic would do something stupid, but it wasn't being abused and used as a competitive advantage nowadays. It felt like the community for Call of Duty made the game feel like it had a soul, because you had so many different varieties and different types of content being pushed into one multiplayer space. Everybody was taking multiplayer and using it in different ways. Now, I type in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, or I type in Call of Duty Warzone, and I get big high kill games, game-breaking bugs, and then obviously now, negative stuff about Call of Duty. But honestly, even if you took away the community from Call of Duty, the campaigns were stellar. I mean, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, World War II, World at War. Those campaigns had heart, a soul, greatly written characters they would become fan favorites of the franchise. Captain Price, Ghost, Frank Woods, Alex Mason, Victor Reznov. And now it feels like the communities all doesn't feel that good. And the campaigns have felt pretty lackluster the past few years. Now, Black Ops 6 had a very, very great campaign. It felt like you were mixing a bunch of different genres with your normal basic Call of Duty missions, and it created a very, very good campaign. Other Call of Duty campaigns have been lackluster, felt like predictable. The characters are very forgettable. I couldn't tell you a single name of a character from Vanguard. I couldn't tell you what Modern Warfare 2 and 3 campaign had to deal with Modern Warfare 2019 story. Which, hang on, I need to go on a rant about that, because the Modern Warfare 2019 story plus the Warzone story was building up to a very, very, very good story. And then Modern Warfare 2 just decided to do nothing with it, and they had an entire different story with an entire different villain, with entirely different characters, which it made no sense. Like, what the hell is Graves doing here? What is Shepard doing here? What was Hassan doing with Urzikstan? We had Hadir being set up as a villain, and then it was setting up in Warzone another villain by Khalid al-Assad. Like, everything was ramping up to be a very good story. And then Modern Warfare 2 just fell flat on its face. That bothered me. It feels like there's been more misses than there has been hits. And you need a hit story so you can build up off of that story. Black Ops 6, it had a hit story. It was ramping up. You know, you had the end cutscene talking how now they're trusting that group a little bit more. They're trusting Frank Woods, Marshall. And now we got the Season 2 cutscene, and it does really nothing with them. It does nothing with those characters. Season 1 really didn't do nothing. It introduced a character, I have no idea what the fuck her name is. And now all of a sudden she's the main person in the thing. The only connection we have is on the little pager with the bounties. It says Marshall's name on it with $1 million. That's it. These characters have nothing to do with these new characters have nothing to do with the campaign characters. For example, Modern Warfare 2019 Season 1 cutscene had the crash map, and we had Nikto and another character, but they were fighting on the map Crash. Armistice was being conjoined at the end of the Modern Warfare 2019 story, which was the combination of these two to take on the bigger threat. What was going on in Verdansk, and then obviously it fell. And Season 1 started to show the cracks of that. There was a story there. There was a soul there. There was stuff there. there. But now these season cutscenes it feels like they mean nothing. Like hell, Modern Warfare 3 had no like story cutscenes except for season 1. There's no overarching stories anymore, or the overarching story is so lackluster. There's no soul with this stuff anymore. Like think back to 2020. We had weekly challenges that you would go throughout Verdansk to go find different bits and pieces of the narrative to build to what the hell was going on in Verdansk. What was going on with Armistice? Why is Viktor Sakhayev now all a part of this? What is he doing? Oh, now there's a nuke. There was heart, there was soul. The narratives made sense. There was characters in the narratives that we cared about. We don't care about any of these characters. And I know that people are mad because we're getting Modern Warfare 28, we're getting Black Ops 64, and people want new IPs. But we're not getting new IPs. We're getting new characters in Black Ops that nobody cares about because we want to see Frank Woods. We want to see Alex Mason. Even though Alex Mason is dead, we want to see characters we care about. Even if we just take characters from the campaign, Adler, Marshall, people care about those two characters. Bring them, tell stories with them. If people aren't attached to characters in your game, nobody can really truly connect with the game. For example, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. People relate to Peter Parker's story. People relate to Miles Morales' story. They see themselves in those characters, so they connect to the characters, making them more invested into the games. Just love those characters. People love Captain Price. People love Ghost. People were starting to love Gaz, Alex, Farah. They wanted to see more stories told with those newer characters or previous characters. It just feels like there's nothing to connect to now. I think the community really isn't helping. I don't really like what's going on with the content creation space because a lot of people are just streaming, and then they just have an editor, their VOD, and edit stream highlights and throw them up on YouTube. I personally enjoy when it's just a video because I wasn't there for the stream. I'm here for the video. Another thing that isn't helping is crossovers. And don't get me wrong, crossovers in gaming is very cool. Well, Fortnite, I think, obviously does it the best. They knock it out of the park. Call of Duty and Fortnite have done Godzilla. Godzilla in Call of Duty was a game mode, a team game mode. They didn't execute it very well. Fortnite executed it perfectly. Godzilla spawns every match after the first zone, and somebody can go and become Godzilla, and you go fight Godzilla for 5 minutes, and then he's off the map, not game-breaking the game. Feels like Call of Duty is more of a marketing platform for those crossovers than it is to influence the game. When Fortnite does crossovers, big crossovers, and they make the gameplay elements very fun. The Spider-Man web shooter, Godzilla, you have Attack on Titan, you have batarangs, grappling hooks. The way that they do it is exceptional, but they are the outlier. I don't know why Call of Duty is trying to copy the way that they do things when they can't execute it nearly as perfect. Call of Duty can't execute anything flawlessly as we are seeing. And I hate being negative towards Call of Duty. I find enjoyment out of all the games. Another thing Call of Duty is doing wrong with the crossovers is now they're doing event passes. The issue I have with this, in the seasons, you're charging $40. If you do an event pass every single season, you are charging $40 to get all the seasonal content, more than half the price of a game every 60 days. Fortnite gets away with the $10 event passes because it's a free video game. You can play the game for free. Call of Duty should not be able to get away with this. It just feels like there's so many microtransactions in already a $70 game. Because I feel like when you're playing for free, you're just not enjoying it as much. The people who don't pay for anything, they just play Warzone. It's unplayable. My guns aren't saving. My camos aren't saving. The game servers do not register half the inputs you're putting in. Activision is still a billion-dollar company. Wait a fucking minute. Microsoft owns Call of Duty. It owns Activision. I don't see the issue of why we have such shit servers and such shit connection. Call of Duty is one of the biggest games in the world. Whether you like it or not, it's number 1 or number 2 on PlayStation. Until Call of Duty starts dipping down, I don't think you're ever going to see much changes. Like another issue people have is skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking, most egregious things I've ever seen. I don't want to sweat my dick off every single time I play this game. I want to have fun. Fortnite skill-based, I don't know how they do it, but they got it. I can play the game for 3 hours, play sweats. 20 to 40% of the time I'm running into sweats. But Call of Duty is putting me against people that are genuinely fucking better than me. I can't compete. They're doing movement mechanics I've never fucking seen. And honestly, skill-based matchmaking deserves its own video for how bad and egregious it is. I hate to say this, but Fortnite is executing everything so much better than Call of Duty is doing. And Call of Duty is very obviously trying to copy whatever the hell Fortnite is doing. There's expectations that Fortnite has that other AAA games should be meeting. Is over the past few years, it seems like Call of Duty is turning into a company that puts out a game every year just to feel some sort of accomplishment, because it seems like every single year they're putting out a game that has no sense of identity. It has no connection to the audience. I have no reason to keep playing this game day in and day out. The content is lackluster. Issues with updates, there's so many barriers between the developers and the consumers. Feels like Call of Duty is very similar to another company that I don't fucking like, but I still buy their game every single year. Madden. They have the same game every single year with slight changes, and the community basically hates the game. But I buy it every single year because I love first-person shooters. I love football, but I can't enjoy the game. And only 4 or 5 years ago, we were having the entire community questioning what the hell is going on Verdansk. Why is Victor Sakayev? Why does he have a nuke? What is Perseus doing? Why is there zombies on the map? There were stories. There was a soul. And now we have Squid Game limited time modes and event passes. Call of Duty is trying to be Fortnite when it should be trying to be Call of Duty. And I think that's what's wrong with Call of Duty. It feels like it's more of a marketing platform than it is a video game. You sell 30 million copies a year. Why the fuck are we having this many issues with your video game? That is the end of my rant, I guess. That's why I haven't really been uploading the past 6 months. And I like being a Call of Duty channel because I love playing Call of Duty when it's fun. But I'm going to probably branch out in other games or more rant topics. I'm going to try posting more this year. So hopefully you enjoy whatever I make of this video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night. I hate being negative, but it feels like it's the only thing that gets views nowadays, being negative towards Call of Duty. Hope remember that you matter. You are important to this world. I know seasonal depression is in full swing for a lot of people, but just know spring's right around the corner. It's sooner than you think. You got this. I'm proud of you every single day of what you do. I'll see you in the next one.